travel through a time machine. Right now, back in 2003. Should I invest in Google?
No. You want to be investing in Atla Vista. That is the search engine of the future.
Oh, jeez. What about Dogpile?
I remember Dogpile. I was actually going to mention that.
Well, it's too late. I already did. But take a look here at the defense. We're terrible. This is where your chat just fills with ha-has. It's like, what are they doing?
Just read the defense.
But anyways, looking at the defense as it runs out here, it's going to be Grim Reality on the McCree, Nomi on the Reinhardt, D-Cop on Junkrat, Zoros on the 76, Jer on the Symmetra, and Hype on Lucio.
Yeah, that is a pretty standard defense there. I imagine that Hype switches up to the Mercy here. You don't see a lot of just solo Lucio on defense anymore, but he's speed bursting out Jer so you get those sentries up in place for the Symmetra. Be interesting to see what Luminosity eventually runs here. Really nothing would surprise me with Luminosity. Like I said, they've just got such a deep hero pool, they could run anything. Things I am pretty certain of is that Milo will be on Reinhardt, Esper will be playing Mercy. Right now, Gods is on offensive Widow, which makes a ton of sense. Poops is on Lucio, Enigma on Zarya, and Seagull playing the offensive Roadhog.
Yep, we've seen Seagull and Roadhog before. They were doing that before McCree was nerfed. They're doing it after he's nerfed, and they're looking for more. And let's take a look at Gods here. If Gods is able to get early picks here, A, it adds to the case for running Widow still, and B, it's going to be impressive given that you have to get headshots now. You can't rely on body shots only.
Yeah, so what you're going to see here is that teams will hold that little first corner. Once they sense that there's actually some pressure coming in, they rotate around to the arch, which is exactly what you see there. Hook comes in, but not able to finish it, and Grim Reality cleans up Seagull.
Yeah, Grim Reality, he's been a very shutdown McCree anytime I've seen him. Doing well here thus far. Does take out the Roadhog. And this is one of the hardest points to attack in the entire game. We didn't talk too much about it, but Dorado very, very generous to the defense. Even the best of teams can really struggle getting through here on the courtyard. As Gods, though, able to take out D-Cop. And we'll be able to get a little bit more. Milo on the Zoros, 2 kills here for LG. LG starting to move forward. Widow on the payload of all things. Has to get away from Symmetra. But LG now really cracking this open. Defense seems a bit in disarray.
Yeah, the secondary resurrection comes off. Now Zoros does clean up Poops, but that's the only kill in their favor right now. D-Cop takes down Gods. It's going very back and forth, but it looks like this is enough pressure from LG to be able to clean this up unless D-Cop goes into God mode right now.
The defense was just a little bit too scattered, gave up too many kills for free. Nothing really flashing the LG side. They just picked off people that are out of position, and eventually the defenders had no one left.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Positioning there was less than ideal in a lot of different situations. Now the tanks are going to push very far forward, trying to get some poke on is Seagull. Wow, this is kind of an interesting gambit they're running here, with both tanks coming all the way around back with the support of Poops.
Alright, Jared going to go down. Enigma and Seagull being very deep in right now. They are going to get knocked out by this Earth Shatter. Nomi looking to take out Seagull. Will take him out in the end. Lots of action going down there in that room. Meanwhile, back on the payload, just casually moving forward 3 people. So even if the offense gets wiped out there, it doesn't really matter since they've still been winning the main prize back on the payload.
Well, I mean, that was just really interesting. Running all 3 of them, they took all the attention of the 6, made so much space on the cart. Now they're back on the cart like nothing happened. I'm not in love with the Graviton there, but it got a lot of work done. So now even Seagull flanking around again. He's just playing backline Roadhog.
Oh, a beautiful headshot on Zoros going to take him out. Gods eliminating the defensive Widow threat, gets the double kill. God showing that he still has it on the Widowmaker, making it work out pretty well. Seagull very deep in now, looking for the Lucio. Lucio trying the wall climb for his life. Seagull says, get back here. Going to hook him and take him out.
Seagull with the flanking whole hog started that off by killing the Mercy too, so just really prioritizing those supports in the back line. Seagull's running the sneakiest Roadhog I've ever seen.
Well, LG right now is saying a lightning fast time here in Dorado. They're able to get through the first point early. Seagull does not get hit by that hook. Shows the Roadhog how the hook works. Hooks him back. He's going to have to take a breather, but God's now still in the Widow, getting a pick as they start out here, looking for another pick if he can get it. Grim Reality trying to fight back, but LG really doing whatever they want here thus far on the Strata.
Yeah, not slowing down at all. Grim gets a kill. It's been one of the only people to get a kill on that side of the kill feed so far, and they continue to roll through. Seagull has another whole hog up. He does get cleaned up by Zoros eventually. They need to kill Esper.
They need to kill Esper, but they also need to do something about Gods. Gods has been able to do whatever he wants here. Just took out Grim Reality as well. And when you kill Grim Reality, that is the biggest person to kill on the Sodipop team. And it really just opens things up for LG when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the full complement of their team up now, but they had to use the Resurrection to get there. Like I said, if they manage to kill Esper, then the defense is in a good position. I don't think they're going to be able to sustain through a fight, a res, and then another fight. Although Jur is going to have Sound Barrier up, which is going to help a lot.
All right, the offense moving forward, looking for their opportunity. LG looking to put this away quick and early, and note that Milo does have the Earth Shatter at the ready. He can drop that at any moment right now. The offense just moving in to the side. They take out D.Va. The shield will stop that Earth Shatter from getting too much done here for the defense. And Milo, will he drop the hammer? He will drop the hammer. 3 people hit the dirt. But will there be the follow-up? I'm not sure. The defense still hanging in here. At the very least, the follow-up did not come right away. And Grim Reality still trying to fight and keep Sodipop in this.
Meanwhile, Pooks pushes the cart nearly to the end by himself. They walk over to it and finish it.
Seagull ending this with a double kill in style, getting the Death Blossom up. The Graviton going to ensure that no one triggers overtime, so a little bit of resistance towards the end, but LG still having a pretty easy run of it here on Dorado.
The smallest amount of resistance. Yeah, they did whatever they wanted there. Setting a super impressive time, and yep, Gods, sharpshooter. Nice.
Widowmaker still alive. Gods having a pretty good showing there, and you do notice that Widows don't go quite on the tears that they used to before with regularity, but every now and then you will chain together multiple headshots, and you will get those 2 or 3 kills and just win a team fight outright.
I mean, it's so far, and it's a limited experience watching it and playing it, but it just seems a little more fair. It seems like I think she's where she needs to be. A sniper is such an impactful hero that sometimes having a little too much impact as Widow is a bad thing, but if you can play it at the high level, you're still having such a huge impact as the single target damage is just phenomenal. And Gods is playing a great Widow yet again.
No, definitely, and Gods is bringing it in. And what we've seen a lot of times here for LG, at least here today, is that Gods does well enough on Widow that he forces out the defensive Widow, and then you've sort of put the game in a situation where, okay, the best Widow suddenly has a huge advantage. So if you can do that as Widowmaker and still force people to make those adjustments, it makes me wonder if teams are sort of misplaying by not running her more often right now. If they're sort of overreacting to the nerf that just recently took place.
Well, not a whole lot that LG has to do on defense. As you mentioned before we came into this map, it would not surprise you if they ran a full hold. The composition they're going to attempt to do that with is going to be Pooks on Symmetra. Esper will be that Mercy. Enigma still running on that Roadhog. Seagull takes his position as Junkrat. Gods on the defensive Widow. Milo on Reinhardt. That is a extremely standard Luminosity Gaming Dorado defense.
Although it's not as standard for the meta anymore, given the fact that a lot of teams are not running the defensive Widow, so we'll see just what Gods has in mind. Meanwhile, looking at the offense as it sets up for the side of Sodipop, it is going to be Jer on the Lucio, Hype on the Mercy, Zoros on 76, Grim Reality on the McCree, Nomi on the Reinhardt, and D-Cop going to be on the Winston. This is an offense here for Sodipop that really has to move incredibly quickly. 438 on Dorado. Not an easy time to beat at all, and if they have any trouble getting through the courtyard, it's probably going to be GG.
Well, the sniper spot on this map is really brutal. It's generally this really far back archway that's untouchable by most heroes, so it's going to be interesting to see if God sets up there. If he does, it's going to be up to D-Cop on the Genji to try to unseat him from that area. He's the only one who can do it.
So offense right now starting to move forward, looking for their opportunity. And again, the defense of LG, you're going to see them back up a bit here. They want to take the fight in the courtyard. They have no reason to do anything risky because, quite frankly, they don't have to defend for very long.
No, that's why they're not even going out to the arch, not trying to get any poke done. They just want to fight right underneath the arch. Although Grim takes out Milo early, losing your tank like that is going to be pretty painful.
No, absolutely. The Grim Reality was able to get that first pick off, but he's going to go down to Symmetra. Resurrection going to come in here for the defense. Res already up for Esper. 4 kills now for the defense as they hold in here, and this might already be game. Technically, it's still mathematically possible to get the payload to the end, but if they get stalled out here, especially now Pooks is getting teleporter, this is really, really a rough go for Sodipop.
It's so rough, too, because they forced out the Resurrection. Had they been able to stay alive and sack some heroes in there, had Hype been able to stay alive, bring them back, they would have had a huge advantage in that fight.
Well, here comes the offense. Nomi does have an Earth Shatter up. He's going to need to land a big one if Sodipop has any hope of getting forward here. But again, just the defense of LG, very disciplined right now, using the train to their advantage, using this choke point to just stymie the offense. The offense seems a little bit lost. They don't know how they want to go through. They just know that they have to make an attempt soon. We do have Nomi going in. We'll get hooked to start this out. And here comes the tire from Seagull coming in, going to get the double kill. We do have Zoros in the back with the Tech Visor. He goes down right away. Enigma going to dispatch him with haste. And now, even with the res here for the offense, we'll see if this is enough. The Genji coming out here with the Dragon Blade, slicing and dicing in the back. Teleporter did go down for Pooks, if nothing else, and Pooks himself is going to go down. But overall, the defense getting enough kills here.
D.Va did get some work done. He almost got out with about 1 HP, but then Gods does eventually clean him up. Just not enough momentum here for the offense to continue this push. They have to back out. Gods cleans up Grim Reality on the retreat. That's a staggered death that they can't afford.
Yeah, and Gods, I mean, he's been in the back here. He's not been getting as many kills as he might have gotten Widow pre-nerf, but he's still a huge threat. The offense still has to worry about him, and if you're worrying about him, the Widow is already winning in more ways than one.
Well, they have to win this next fight to really have any sort of chance at all. Now, Jira's going to have Sound Barrier up. I imagine they're going to hit that, initiate with it, see what they can get done. He just needs a huge Fire Strike before it starts. Here it comes.
Yeah, the offensive Sound Barrier coming in, the offense charging in, but here comes the tire again, coming right in, going to take out the tank. A huge pick coming out from Seagull, and now the offense just going to have issues. When your Reinhardt dies that early in the fight, it's really difficult to turn things around in your favor.
Yeah, and now they're just kind of bleeding out as well. D.Va is going to get hooked, and he is able to retreat.
Enigma now getting a whole hog. Why not? He'll crack this Reinhardt shield. He's got to wait for it to regenerate. Gets pushed all the way back. Not able to charge in. The knockback on Roadhog ultimate will defeat the Reinhardt charge. Reinhardt will just keep charging to his death. And LG really maintaining the same defensive position. And if you look at the time that's left here, only 1:30. Mathematically, I think this might already be over.
Yeah, it's game over. I think they're going to probably play it out on this first poise defense to see if they can find something to use going into the next map, try to find some sort of momentum, some sort of moral victory, anything for Sodipop here, but it has been extremely one-sided.
Yeah, for Sodipop, they do have an option here. They do have a Graviton Surge. They will go for it in a moment. They just get both tanks in it. Will there be the follow-up? Nomi does get a little bit there as Reinhardt gets a double kill, but the defense still hanging into it pretty well. Seagull gonna explode someone in the lobby, and here comes the tire out again. It kills 2 people and Seagull himself. Seagull, like, probably just saying worth to that in the end. And it is. He can teleport back. Why not?
Yeah, no problem. He'll be right back to the lines very early on. Gods with a really interesting angle takes down Hype. I love this position from Gods.
Yeah, Gods right now, and this is the advantage of running Widow. When the other team isn't running Widow or any snipers, you can sit from a perch like this, and there's not a whole lot of options to really deal with you.
Yeah, the only option to ever deal with a defensive Widow on this map has ever been maybe a Genji or a Pharah, but really the best answer has always been a counter Widow.
Gods right now are top, just sniping things out. 34 seconds left. Time-wise, only 15 seconds remaining, so LG has certainly won this. They're going to be going up 1-0 here in our grand finals. Very well played by them.
Yeah, they look pretty untouchable. This is a map that we expected them to do so on. I'm just interested to see what Sodipop is going to take us to next. I think they're going to probably try to take us to King of the Hill.
Might very well be a thing. Zoros with the Tech Visor was able to get 1 kill. Grim Reality looking for an opportunity, but here comes the tire again on the way. Will it get value? Doesn't really matter too much in any case. Oh no, Mercy. Mercy pistoling the tire down. Will kill it before it gets on her, but overtime is in progress, and LG's still just stymieing this offensive push.
Well, Grim has been the one bright spot. He continues to get some kills as he pushes in here.
Grim Reality fighting to the very end. Will get taken out by Enigma, and there it is. Whoa. That was the 720 spinning Winston no scope. You know, sometimes you're losing a game. Why not set your sensitivity to the very max and spin over and over again?
Got no surprise. It's going to be a tire. This might be the tire that kills 2 and himself. Nope.
I've got you in my sights.
Well, good old Seagull Junkrat cleaning up, does 33% of the team's total damage. He had himself a game. Everyone on LG looked pretty good there. You know, Nomi and Grim Reality have been probably the best players so far for